In this video, I will be analysing Beyond Blue's Invisible Discriminator campaign. This campaign has particular importance because of its message highlighting the crooked nature of racial discrimination against Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and the effect subtle racism has on Indigenous Australians. Beyond Blue's campaign taps into the consumer insight that non-Indigenous Australians can be a driving force in changing subtle racism and racist culture in Australia. Non-Indigenous Australians of 20 to 40 years of age don't necessarily recognise that their actions could be considered forms of subtle racism that lead to anxiety and depression in Indigenous Australians. This feeds into the big idea of the campaign. No one should be made to feel like crap just for being who they are. The campaign shows the psychological impact of subtle racism, using resonant and inherent drama message strategies. Using the basic order of presentation, Beyond Blue chooses to wait until the end of the ad to present their argument. They do this because the viewer is already highly interested with the issue presented. This method can also lead to better retention of the information and message, which is the intended aim of Beyond Blue. The ad allows the viewer to emotionally connect, absorb, and understand the intended message, then actively seek to change the way they view racism and understand how their actions can harm those around them, falling into the affected method of the SCB grid, tapping into the psychological aspects of the consumer. Beyond Blue could be more bullish when showing the link between subtle racism, anxiety, and depression, using a learn, feel, do approach. But I think the way that they have presented the message is best when wanting to motivate the target audience to be that change. Change their actions and those around them. The post-testing strategy, recalling, is the best way to see if Beyond Blue's ad campaign still resonates with the target audience. A report by TNS, an international market information and market research group, analysed the effect of the campaign. Research found that the campaign had a strong recall, with 50% of those interviewed recalling the campaign. Ben Little of Singleton Ogilvy and Mather Australia stated that human beings are emotional creatures first and foremost, rational creatures second. With such a sensitive and social topic, the Invisible Discriminator campaign uses both emotional, rational appeals and dramatization to best communicate the campaign message to their target audience. In the ad, camera angles have been used to enhance the importance of the message and show certain moods and feelings with the characters.
You're not staying there, right?
That was a snapshot from the television ad. A wide-angled shot was used to show a young non-Indigenous adult sitting on a bench texting, and then an Indigenous male sit down next to him. A close-up shot is then used to highlight the effects subtle racism has, showing the Indigenous male clearly hurt and disappointed by the non-Indigenous male shuffling further away. This is used throughout the ad. A wide-angle shot to establish the scenario, and then close-ups to show the effect of subtle racism. A man also appears behind the non-Indigenous Australians, portraying the voice inside your head. He is the antagonist, the part of some people that still exists, the part that has racist tendencies. This makes the consumer feel guilty, because we have all been guilty of subtle racism acts in the past. It is at this point in the ad that we have the chance to ignore the antagonist, the voice in our head, and break free from preconceived, outdated perceptions of race, and become a better version of ourselves, as per the self-actualization and self-esteem needs in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The voiceover at the end of the ad taps into the consumer insight, "You can change this." This targets a segment in the target audience, the non-Indigenous Australians who are socially aware, those who seek to make change within their community and gain social capital, wanting to be seen as a positive change in the world. The campaign could still use both the emotional and rational appeals and creative techniques in the video, but simply reverse the roles in this situation, portraying non-Indigenous Australians as a minority and the ones affected by subtle racism. The Invisible Discriminator campaign used outdoor digital billboards, television, social media, and digital platforms to reach its target audience. Social media platforms were used to inspire action on the online community by sharing the page with friends and family, giving them a voice, showing that they are a moving force for change. Outdoor digital billboards were used to address a lack of familiarity with subtle racism. These digital billboards were located in busy train and bus stations with a short, impactful message, prompting important conversation in a location where it probably wouldn't get talked about, but could be an environment where subtle racism takes place. Beyond Blue could have used the power of interactive media on outdoor digital billboards like Media's Walking Wounded campaign. This would increase its coverage and add an interactive element not usually associated with issues such as racism. The billboard could show a clip from the ad, then engage the consumer asking if they thought there was anything wrong with what they just saw. The results could be compiled and show what the community thinks is culturally acceptable.